Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of the eBike series. Today, got some special goods that have arrived, so without further ado, let's go and check them out. Yes, I am talking about this bad boy, the Sabvoton motor controller, or MQ Con as they're called now. So this is going to be kind of the heart of the e-bike. This is what's going to be controlling it, taking the throttle, managing the power, controlling the motor, etc. Now I chose to go with the 72-150 version, which means it can handle up to a maximum of 72 volts and 150 amps DC from the battery. So yeah, this is the box it comes in. Obviously there's some packaging around it, that's the company. Interestingly, I'll have a look at this, but the USB connector on this is actually kind of it's a USB connector, because it's actually just a serial connector. So you connect this to the Sabvoton and then that's just a serial to USB cable connector, which is good because it means you don't have to pay extra for the Bluetooth module. You can just use a like HC10 or whatever, whatever it's called module. And then I think this is the fuse. This is a big old 200 amp fuse, I think it says somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So let's get on to the main thing. So it is quite big, you know, there's my hand for reference. I think it's about, I've broken bit of ruler here, but it's about 24 by 14 by 6 centimeters. So obviously this is where it mounts. There's some internal mounting screws, lots of kind of grills and, not grills, but ridges and places for ventilation, which is good because obviously 150 amps times 72, you do the maths, that's an awful lot of power that can come through here. And this is the main power terminal block, so you've got your battery positive and negative, then the 3 phase wires, which obviously go to the motor. You've got 2 little indicator lights underneath there, you can probably see them. I don't get why they put them on here, because obviously you're not going to be able to easily see these in the bike, because it's in the bike and it's under there. This is how you tell if there's a fault or something. You've got to read these little lights. I don't get why they don't, I don't know, do something else, but you can get it off the serial anyway. So this is that's the USB or USB connector there. So that'll, in my plan, be going straight to an Arduino or a Bluetooth module or something like that. There's this bundle of wires that come out here. This is not a connector. You can't disconnect it. At least I don't think you can. Not on this one, I don't think. So on this bundle of wire we have the connector for hall sensors even. I think, again I need to check all this, I think that's the throttle wire. And then this is the wire for an external display. It's got 4 wires, so I'm guessing that's power ground, and again I don't know if that's just another serial connection. So essentially these are all the mandatory control wires. You know, you need your hall sensors, you need the throttle, I guess you don't need a display, but anyway. And then these are the sort of optional ones. Again, I need to double check exactly what each one does, but I think one of these is probably the key switch. Another one might be the secondary throttle input, and I think this one's either the speed limiter or maybe that's the lock and this is for the brake lights. I need to double check. Okay, so this is a genuine first test. I've never powered this on, I've literally just taken it out of the box. So these, I've put it in parallel, so we're going to get 48 volts, 2 amps, just in case anything goes wrong. So here goes. I'll tell you what the lights are doing. That's interesting. We've got no current being drawn. Okay, sorted it, but this orange and red one, this is the ignition, and I think you just have to short them together, so I've just put a nail in there. So hopefully, this time, okay, I think I've got it. I configured my power supply wrong, so it was outputting 23 volts, not 48, so. Okay, so we now have 48 volts going into the controller. I'm about to connect the wire. We have a red light, and it's blinking. I'll bring you round. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can see that 13, hall fault. Well, that's understandable considering there were no hall connection. So next I'm going to connect it to my computer and see what kind of data we can get off it. So I have it connected with the USB to serial, just for information because I got this wrong. The chunky end goes into the computer, not into the controller. I had it the wrong way around and wondered why it wouldn't connect. So it's come up in Windows. As you can see, I'm doing my best to screen record. Now this is the software. Now annoyingly, it only runs in Windows, so you have to use something like VirtualBox if you've got a Mac. Now let's see how we connect. Communication. Oh, you got to find COM port. COM4. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's receiving something. Maybe that system error means... Maybe that's the hall sensor. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. You can actually see hall fault. So it's okay, so it's connected and it knows where the hall fault. Okay, so that's what it's reading. Okay, 49.4. That's a bit high, but okay. So basic. So lack volt. So you've got all these settings. So DC current, DC boost current. Okay. Rated phase current, max phase current. You know, once I get the battery and everything, which will be a while, but in the meantime I can play around with this. You know, this is going to be a long part, but electric brake phase current, you know, all these things. So yeah, I guess next thing is to try and get it connected up to the motor and see if we can have a bit of a fiddle around with it. But yeah, at least it's all working as it's supposed to so far. Right, so my next little challenge is going to be with the Sabvoton, which I obviously have now. Quite a lot of the connectors, especially this hall sensor connector, are just like weird connectors, like not standard or anything. I mean, they probably are standard, but not for e-bikes. So I'm going to be replacing these connectors. I've already done one of them as a test. I bought these connectors on eBay. There's the 2-pin connector, and this matches with the key lock on the bike, so that's nice. So I'm just going to be replacing these 4 here. The USB cable, that's fine, and that's probably not going to be using. So what I'm going to be, let's do the throttle first, which is this one here. I also need to just check, because this one's the e-brake, and it's weird how it's just like a single one, so you have to like pull it high or pull it low or something. So I'm going to see if I can tap a wire off here to do that with. So this connector is the high or low speed switch. And if I ever need to check the order, I can just have it there. But as long as they match up on each side, it shouldn't be an issue. This one, it didn't like stop it going in or anything. Now they're all soldered on, I'm just going to push, oh now it's hot. So I'm going to put the black wire in the top, and then you look at where the little notch is, and this little retention clip lines up with the notch, and you just push it in until it clicks. Alright, and there we go. We now have a new connector, which if you try it, that's nice and secure. So there we go. With the hall sensor, it's slightly different because the connector is slightly different. I'm going to be sort of reusing the one from my old e-bike. So I'm going to make it so that if I swapped out the motor, it would just be plug and play. And I'm also going to follow the same kind of power at the top, hall sensor at the bottom. I've written down what wires correspond to where, because on my old bike I was using a vest which needed a different connector, so I put these extensions on, but the colours have all got a bit mixed up. Okay, so here is the hall sensor connector all attached and wire up. Oh, remember I forgot to put heat shrink over that. Oh well, I'll repurpose that one. So I'm just going to put on the throttle and e-brake connectors, which are the last few, and then we'll be good. Okay, so the way I'm going to do the throttle and the e-brake is that also I'm going to have a 3-pin connector for the throttle because there's power ground and then input, and then for the e-brake I'm going to use 2-pin connectors, because I'll have one for the 5 volts and then one for the brake connector itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some clips in these wires and then have 2 extra wires coming out of here for the brake. Okay, so I'm going to be using blue for the 5 volts because why not, and nothing else is blue apart from the sensor wire, so it's not going to get too confusing. So there we go, that's the brakes done. So there we go. All connectors done and dusted. Okay, so time to connect the motor. So I'm going to do phase wires first. I'm going to match them up, yellow to yellow, green to green, etc. I'm wondering, this is the same motor I used on my previous bike. I'm just going to be pushing it harder, which you can do. So yeah, so sensor wires in. Now, right, so what I've done is I have put the controller in there loosely. I've attached the two 5S batteries, so we've got about 40 volts going in there, connected up the throttle and the switch on the other side, and the motor of course, and then I have a USB cable going up to my laptop with the software open. And what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to try running a hall sensor test on here, just with 10 amps or so, to see what happens, and just see if it works. I don't know whether it's gonna. I've got a blinking green light, which according to the code means low voltage, which isn't surprising considering it's running on 42 volts, but we'll see if it's gonna work. So yeah, you'll find out if it's gonna work or not. That can spin nice and freely. Oh, here we go, mate. Oh, it's doing it. It's rotating. No errors. All oh, it failed the bleeding test. Okay, no matter what it says, test fail 4. Right, so now let's try putting in 20 amps current, all angle. Here we go, mate. This is the one. And also, it is in. You have to do this before you even try and connect up the throttle, because I've heard plenty of tests okay. Yes, let's go. So after a fair bit of fiddling with settings for the throttle and stuff, and hopefully now that's the brake rubbing, but it's working, and it's actually got a decent bit of power, you know. If we keep up that brake bit, and nothing smells better than a hot brake disc. But so I'll probably try and take that on a ride today. And yeah, obviously, like, these batteries are not very good, but you know, it'll show that the principle is working. But there we go. You know, there's no kind of, it's not like it's suddenly jittered, it's all, and it hasn't got the whine like my old motor. I'll try and find a clip, the clip I did in my first video of a comparison between BLDC drive and FOC drive. This is FOC drive, which is just a way of controlling the motor. This was obviously with the Vesco my old one, but yeah, I'll put up a clip and you can just see the difference, or hear the difference, what I'm talking about.
That is ridiculously quiet. I literally can hardly hear it. Mad. And the progression. But literally it's just inches forward. That is just. Give it a bit of a head start because it is on a hill, but that is crazy.
So here we are at the end of another video. I know it's been a bit of a long one, but I thought there was lots of stuff that I've done all around the controller which I'd bung into one video rather than splitting it apart. And you got the treat of a little cheeky test ride at the end, so I hope that makes up for it. So if you're stuck at home at the moment, I hope this is entertaining, or you might even try something yourself. So stay tuned until the next video. Anyway, bye then.